dedicated audience. My name remains Olusegun Olabode Ajakai. Welcome to Nigeria Today Live, and this is the Tech and Gadget segment on Galaxy TV. And interestingly, today I have a very special guest with me, someone who is a top business leader, and also he heads our strategy department at here in Uranus, where I lead the sales team. And it's interesting to have someone who I called Ray and also Raymond. Hi Raymond, good to have you here.
Buddy, how's it going?
Very well, very well. It's such an honor to have you, and knowing what you do for us as a business, and getting this time is also a very, very important one. Raymond, from where you sit, do you want to just give us a quick introduction about yourself and what you do for Uranus?
Oh, okay. My name is Raymond Madago. I'm the head of product and strategy for Uranus Technologies. So my day-to-day activities involve strategy, thinking from where I sit, long-term from the business growth, also looking at what it entails to get there. So I take the vision of the organization and I move that from intangible to tangible, basically.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So it's such an interesting one. What question I want to ask you right now for us to start and probably set the ball rolling is with respect to, because most of our audience are those who are elite educated audience, those that are probably the typical everyday Nigerian. So for today's conversation, we'll be talking about leadership, talk about strategy, talk about business process, talk about automation. Then how can we also distill it back to the government and see, discuss around how as government help to help sector organizations like ours, and probably are there policies that needs to be implemented. So we'll just take it through that journey as well too. So thank you very much, Raymond. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. Absolutely.
Thank you. So in your own perspective, right, what are challenges facing organizations right now when it comes to strategy, when it comes to coming up with some key innovative ideas? What are major challenges you see out there?
Okay, so for organization within, so I'm going to speak from a global perspective.
That's fine.
Because that's how I was trained.
That's good.
So for organization within Sub-Saharan Africa, especially within the space that we play, a lot of them are reactive. So there's a lot of questions around taking bold decisions. Oh, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? There's a lot at stake. What's the opportunity cost? And when your approach is like that towards growth, you can be a leader.
Sure.
You can be a market leader.
Sure.
You're reactive.
Sure.
Right. So if you sit down to look and analyze organizations that are leaders, they take risk.
Sure.
It's calculated, but they take risk. They're not afraid to say, okay, let's put 20% of our budget here. We don't mind it going to waste. And I think it's a cultural thing as well. Research.
True.
How much goes into research
Back
and
into
development?
research,
Right. So in that case, that's where a lot of organizations struggle within Sub-Saharan Africa, right? You then see potential for growth. You see the potential, but the growth is not happening.
It's not happening, yeah.
Right, because they are not investing or they are not willing to take that risk. Pretty much. Then you see organizations that come into Africa. Them coming into Africa, they're already taking the risk, right? And in another 5-10 years, they know that in another 5-10 years we are going to invest.
Yeah,
right? ROI, return on investment. We know that we might not get anything for the first 3-4 years.
Yeah.
But we are sure about these indicators, right? And they go ahead with that.
Fantastic.
What then happens is, even if it doesn't turn out how they expect or how they've written it out in paper, they see other opportunities.
Yeah.
And they diversify, they do other things, but at the end of the day, they'll still make profit.
Fantastic.
So that is what happens to organizations. They don't take that risk. They are too scared to take that risk. They are too calculated.
Right. So I think that's actually a very good point, because we've seen this play out in so many organizations, both locally and even across globally, like you mentioned as well too. But another perspective that I also want to look at it is, we understand fully well that most of them don't want to take that big risk, and like you said, calculated risk. But do you think that risk? So, are you saying, are you looking at it from innovation perspective, or on looking at it from a perspective around investing in talents? Because when you talk about innovation, that's one angle of, to it. Then the second part is, are you looking at it from a talent perspective or product perspective? If you have to break it down.
Okay, so for growth not to happen, I don't think we lack innovation. Innovation is always there with the amount of population we have. Are you willing to invest in your people? Are you willing to train people? Organizations are usually scared of, oh, if I invest in this person, they're going to leave. What's the long-term return on this? Even from a national level, we are losing talent. That's to show you how much of a big deal it is. Talent is scarce. You have it in abundance, but you're scared to invest. Please make it make sense.
So interestingly, I like the fact that you've actually taken it, and narrowed down to talent. So what would be your perspective? Let's look back, to our university days or the schools. Do you think the curriculum we have currently as we speak as a nation, as most, because we are looking at audience outside Nigeria and probably looking at a global perspective. In Africa, for instance, do you think the schools, or let's even say Nigeria as a use case, do you think the youth are actually ready for what the market has to offer them? That's one. Then looking at the curriculum as well, so do you think we have what it takes in today's world? What will you say?
Absolutely not. The curriculum isn't fit for where the world is going right now. I know the Honorable Minister of Education revamped the educational curriculum. I think that is a step in the right direction, but it's still not there. And I'm big on education. I see how it shapes people, their mind. Funny thing is, as a nation, so I like to think of it this way, right? There is a way things should run, and there is a way it actually runs, right? So as Nigerians, we are caught up in a facade of, things are going, we know the way things should be, and we are just caught up in the idea that, it's going to work out. But there's the reality of the way it is. It's actually it's messed up right now. Teachers are not qualified. They don't have the experience. They don't have the exposure. Universities are still studying frameworks that are out of date. You then realize that there's no intentionality for growth. We are more operational than we are strategic. Let's just do it. Let's just fulfill our righteousness. Right? How do you then sit down to say, in another 6 to 12 years, I want to have this level of educated citizen, right? So there's also part of the development indices, which is having enlightened and educated citizens. We don't have that. And we can see the ripple effect everywhere. We can, in politics, economy, everywhere it's there.
So thank you for that perspective. So just to round up, right, I would want you to just give your advice to the government, to the universities out there, the institutions out there, then the private sector as well, to where we also play. So your first advice to the government, just two advice.
My advice to the government would be they should follow through on their plans, right? Follow through on investment and the outcome, right? Don't just have a budget and say, I'm building new schools. Yeah, infrastructure facility is important. Development of the educators to pass knowledge is also critical as well. Have milestones, have yardsticks, have parameters, have indices, indicators to say we are going in the right track. We want to have. So there are also parameters that are not necessarily justified. Do you want to have out of school children back in school, or do you want to have educated children?
Very, very true.
Two different ball games, right? The quality of the people you are sitting down with, very important. I think it's important. Implementation and enforcing the goal is very important.
Important, yeah. Thank you.
Very, very important.
So your advice to the schools, just one sentence.
All right, I think we need to do the work for schools. We need to do the work. Proprietaries, headmaster, headmistress, whatever they call them
all
these days.
stakeholders, right?
All stakeholders,
right.
from the lower cadre to tertiary institution. We need to be intentional. If you don't love your job, just quit.
Then I thank you for very much. Then I think for the government as well, so my advice from where I sit is to also involve more of the stakeholders when you're looking at the private sector partnership, and also the institutions as well. To you agree with me that they should also, see how they can partner with the private sector organizations, just to have like a stakeholder session or a town hall meeting to see how can your curriculum or what you teach the kids, how does it resonate so well with today's world. And I know fully well that most schools, they also do they partner with most organizations to do internship program. But I think most of the private universities are the ones doing that. So the government institutions can also do that to see how can they work together with private sector to drive a cohesive collaboration between them and the private institutions. Thank you very much, Raymond, for being available today. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode as well.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It's such a pleasure to always have you all. And like we always say, please feel free to drop your comments and contribution or any feedback you have for us. It's such an insightful session anytime we come on this session to just discuss leadership, discuss mentorship, discuss technology, and also discuss how we can better our nation as individuals, be it as a Nigerian or, in diaspora as well too. This is Nigeria Today Live, and feel free to follow us across our social media channel at Galaxy TV, and also follow me on my social media channel at Body of Lagos across all my Instagram page, on X, and on TikTok, and also on LinkedIn at Olusegun Olabode Ajokai. And your social media channel as well too?
Instagram, King Gray of Lagos. LinkedIn, Raymond Madagu.
Thank you.
Those are the social media accounts.
Thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you next in our episode.